20035. That's Sanitol Service.
From America's heartland, this is GJRB, Clinton, Iowa.
And hello everyone, hello everywhere. Welcome to the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online. Got a great show lined up for you today. Hope you'll stay with me. We got some great talk radio on the way. Got some interesting news going on. And we'll be talking about that today here on GJRB Online. So stay with me. I have stories going on. Neil Gorsuch has been nominated. We'll talk about that. Big story going on right now. And a whole lot more. And talk about Rachel Dolezal. You know, she wants to be black. We'll talk about that. And the governor of California says it's not Christian to put up a wall. We'll talk about that and a whole lot more coming up as we begin the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online. But first, we're going to take a look at the news. News and comment right now on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. And I'm Gary J. Russen. Hope you enjoy the show. We got a great talk lineup this afternoon. It's 3 o'clock in the Central Time Zone right now, 4 o'clock in the East, and it is now 1 o'clock Pacific. And I'm Gary J. Russen. This is GJRB Online on Spreaker, and I'm Gary J. Russen. Hope you enjoy the program. First of all, don't know if I have that story on there, but apparently it broke about an hour ago. Neil Gorsuch was voted in. He is now the judge, and we'll talk about that coming up a little later on. And I'll find that story complete for you later on here this afternoon. Meanwhile, James Comey is being investigated. Talk about that right now. Well, let's see. Undo that. Okay, we want to go and hit open hyperlink. The James Comey, apparently, I guess he blew it. That according to the story, they're going to get some answers though. The FBI director and his deputy director Andrew McCabe are under investigation by the Senate Judiciary Committee, and they want to have two Trump-hating, corrupt top cops who will clean into the specific wrongdoings. According to the Washington Examiner, Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley, one of our people, heading up for a new investigation into Comey and McCabe. So they're going to investigate Comey. Now, as you remember straight, it's all investigated over this whole, I believe it was that investigation into Donald Trump and the Russians in the elections, involving the previous plan to pay former British spy Christopher Steele to investigate Donald Trump during the election. $700,000 campaign donation, which was received by McCabe's wife from Hillary Clinton and associates, wreaking corruption. And finally, Comey will be being accountable for the weapons of the FBI on the benefit for Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. So we're going to follow that story. What do you think about that? Comey is under investigation, and we'll have that throughout the afternoon here on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. Another one of those bad numbers. And I'll tell you about those later on. There is a lot of scam going on, and I'll be talking about that later. I mean, I keep getting those numbers here on this program. And it's probably because, like I said, I invite callers on my show, which I guess could account for it. But every once in a while that phone will ring at odd times here. Mark Levin is on TV with Sean Hannity recently. Mark Levin, another great talk show host. He appeared on a recent show with Sean Hannity. Check this out. Apparently, Mark Levin, Sean Hannity score Obama's police state in liberal media and liberal leaks.
The host of Levin TV, CRTV Network. I call him the Great One. You know what it's like to get you on the show? It's like pulling teeth. You know that? We're glad to have
Very
you back,
good.
my friend. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm laying out the basics here. You put together in a very comprehensive way, and I give you a lot of credit for putting all this together. This isn't the right-wing conspiracy. This isn't conservative Sean Hannity, conservative Mark Levin. This is the New York Times. This is McClatchy. Explain.
And yet it's only conservatives who are concerned about what they're reading in liberal media outlets. Have you noticed that? The media is very confounded right now. They're very confused. They don't know whether to trash themselves, trash their colleagues, or what. Now, you asked a question. You said, what did Obama know? We know he knows this much. Everything you just read, he knew, because it's in the newspapers. That's pretty big.
Yeah.
Number two, we know that if a FISA warrant was secured, it's very likely in his daily intelligence briefing or a call from the Attorney General or the Director of the FBI, the President would be given a heads up. There's nothing illegal about it, but he'd be given a heads up.
And this is
Here's what
over
else
the
we know.
wiretap
There's all
investigation.
kinds of, based on these
This is a
reports,
lengthy recording, so I'm just going to play a
investigative
piece of
activities
it.
going on. You know, McClatchy reported the agencies involved, the FBI, CIA, National Security Agency, Justice
And,
Department, Treasury Department,
Basically, I think what they're saying there is
Network.
that they're still. That was back when they were trying to investigate Obama's wiretapping. Remember, Donald Trump had come up forward and blamed President Obama for former President Obama for wiretapping his office, and I don't know. You know, I've been sitting there, you know, believing that it's possible that that Obama did that, because I mean, it's not beneath him. It's something that he could, more than likely, he would do. And quite frankly, it wouldn't surprise me if it came out that he did. I mean, I really think that it's possible that he could have done that. And so I will be talking about that throughout the show. And check this out. This is shocking. This is shocking. Authorities uncovered 7 kegs of cocaine hidden inside of, believe it or not, fake bananas. This is awesome. I mean, this is weird. I'll take this out. This is a visual, so I would have to, if I had a TV show here, if I had my YouTube on, I'd show you this. They had cut open a bunch of them now, fake, and they're cutting open bananas in this video. A bunch of them, and they're inside of them are bunches of fake bananas. They were stashed with cocaine. They were seized by police in Spain. Yeah, I mean, this is a conniving little trick. They opened it up, stuffed inside 57 fake bananas, made of resin, 7 kg worth, at least. This is worth of a Class A drug was uncovered. They found these in bananas. 57 bananas were. They found cocaine. Yeah, this is a new trick for the drug people. Okay, finding this is something else. Well, you can look at it. When you look at these things, they're green. First off, look a little shiny, and you would think, well, maybe they're bananas. But real bananas, but these are not bananas. If you peel them, they need to be nothing but a drug. The C2 is part of an ongoing operation with the Spain's tax authority, which began back in November. And they shocking 7 kg keg, I believe that is, of marijuana. kilograms, right? Yeah, kilograms. In bananas, folks. Would you believe it? Bananas, they found this. And that's a new trick. That is one trick that I would never have thought of pulling. Putting them in bananas. Oh, brother, that's a new one. And getting back to Comey, I want to get into this. It's been breaking. President Trump announced that he's Comey's replacement. Okay, he's gonna apparently. President Trump has put that you're fired on there. And for the past 2 months, the FBI's intelligence community have been very busy investigating the Hillary Clinton's crimes and Barack Obama's shadow government, and they decided instead to investigate fake news stories about the connection between our president and the Russians. So preposterous, according to what Donald Trump has said, proving time and time again that there is no connection. He has posted a tweet. He tweeted over 100 times that it wasn't in the New York Times, CNN. Now finally decided to take action, and Director Comey and all of his chances that he could. Time has come to replace him. So Comey's out. Trump knowing that best of what he can do for the American people who wasted no time. As of April 1st, which was this past Saturday, FBI will no longer be answering to a director of the head of the House Investigation Committee, Trey Gowdy. Mr. Gowdy will take over day-to-day operations when his term is up in January 2019. So he's Trey Gowdy's the head of this now. The reason for this is the unorthodox chain of command that that a person can't by law hold 2 jobs in the federal government, and Mr. Gowdy is still needed the head of the House Committee, and he runs that and does much good work. Gowdy has ensured the president will have everything in his power to end the Russian witch hunt. Okay. They're going to do everything in their power to end this Russian witch hunt. And the Clintons and the Podesta is concerned to get back what was really important, and was shutting down Obama's deep state and getting to the bottom of Benghazi. Good luck with that. I wonder if they're going to even be with luck with Benghazi, because how long is this whole Benghazi thing going on? I mean, really, it's just getting old, isn't it? It really is. It's just getting really ancient, and they just keep on pulling this stuff. All right, you got Gary Russen here, GJRB Online on Spreaker. Welcome aboard. This is the Gary Russen program, and we're here on Spreaker. Glad you could be with me today, and I hope you're enjoying the program. And if you wanted to join in, we're going to have call-ins a little later on, and I will announce the phone number despite the fact that I get those annoying calls. I just don't answer them. That's just that simple. I just do not answer them. So I'm going to continue to announce my number on the air so that I can get some calls on this program. So that's all that is. All right, tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a break. Be right back for page 2. And in page 2, we're going to talk about Indiana inmates who could have tablets by the year's end. We'll talk about that. And we're going to head into the Gary Russen program. As you all know, the Gary Russen program is a news talk program and is GJRB's original news talk program. Here on GJRB Online, we'll get into the obituaries and some birthdays. We'll try to get those in later on. And a matter of opinion. A Drexel professor wants to vomit after service members given courtesy to a soldier on an airplane. What do you think about that? I think it is despicable that this guy has a problem with it. Let him get sick for all I care. We'll talk about that coming up next in page 2 on the Gary Russen program. Be right back. It's that time of year once again. Spring. It's a time when the weather gets warm and the flowers bloom. And GJRB is starting new programs and bringing back older ones that haven't been on for a while. It's the GJRB Spring Spectacular. All new programs and old ones returning, like Radioland, Gary J's radio and television classics under a new name. Radio, television, and movie classics, featuring not just radio and television broadcast rarities, but also intermissions from drive-in movie theaters and indoor theaters too. Old movie trailers and movie trivia. The Spring Spectacular will also mean the return of the blues with Gary J's Blues House and country bluegrass with Bluegrass Jubilee. New additions to the Gary Russen program, including The Man on the Street, as I take my voice recorder to the streets of Clinton and ask people their opinions on what's going on in the news and lighter fun stuff. GJRB Spring Spectacular starts in April on GJRB. Watch. Pray. For you not know what hour the Son of God will return. Prophecy, New World Order, terrorism, economic collapse, wars, pandemics, Israel. When they say peace, then cometh sudden destruction. Volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, signs in the heavens. Keep up with world news and events you hear on GJRB's News on the Hour. Go to End Time Headlines at www.endtimeheadlines.org. With a lot of chaos happening, keep in touch with End Time Headlines and GJRB. After 1 year, the wait is over. Now join Pastor Ron Johnston and a panel of men and women to discuss the news and how it lines up with Bible prophecy. In this world of chaos and upheaval, this is the program that puts it all into perspective. How will we survive? God only knows. So trust Him and listen to the last 7 days. Uploaded as a podcast or live every third Friday at 12 o'clock noon Central on GJRB Online. Next news at the bottom of the hour. Give Christians praise. You're covered and informed. Now it's time for the Gary Russen program, discussing what's in the news, sports, and other things happening in the world. And now you can talk to Gary live at area code 563-613-4260. In a sea of lies and deception, this is the beacon of truth on internet radio. This is the Gary Russen program on GJRB. And hello everyone, hello everywhere, across America and around the world, wherever you're listening, welcome to the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online on Spreaker, across America and around the world. Wherever you're listening, you got it here. GJRB Online on Spreaker. Welcome aboard. I'm glad you can be with me today. We've got a great show lined up for you. Got some really neat stuff to talk about. And if you have something to get in on, we'll get in. We'll invite you in here in our next segment. And get you a chance to join in the conversation, of course. We're going to get starting conversation, of course, with news and stuff. And getting you all the information that on the program, and of course you could be part of the show, and I hope that you'll stay with me for the best in internet talk radio, or GJRB Online on Spreaker, and I'm Gary J. Russen, and I hope you'll stay with me today for the best in afternoon talk. And we're going to get into some more interesting news. We have some weather in the news coming up here in just a little bit. We're going to have our weather news up. Oh, some interesting stuff here. Because they've been some really nasty storms. You've been seeing that all over the place. Some real bad stuff. Tornadoes touched down in Alexandria, Louisiana. They got a real bad twister that touched down here recently. Was it Wednesday? We had that bad storm. Yesterday. I mean, they're still having bad storms down there, and we'll talk about that coming up. Some storm warnings and all that down in Texas, and we'll be getting into that in our weather in the news. So stay with me here on GJRB Online. Meanwhile, we're talking about some interesting stories, and you can be part of the show. Welcome aboard the Gary Russen program here on GJRB. Hey, immigrants are battling. The battle rolls on over the immigrants and over sanctuary cities, and a lot of mayors want to debate over presidents over the eliminating of them altogether. And I'm for one, why is it that we insist on protecting the rapists, the murderers, the drugs, and the drug distributions in these cities? Because that's what you're getting when you're inviting these illegals in here. They don't care about America. They hate America. They're coming in here to live off of us. Okay? That's plain and simple. You can't get any more than that. You have a governor in California who says that it's un-Christian-like to put up a wall. Really? Governor Moonbeam? That's an idiot. I guess we have to be stuck with these illegals. If I want this, if I went to their country and tried to get benefits and a free ride, I'd be shot at sight. Yet, so many of these illegals are here who are getting in, and what they're doing? What did the troops get? These are the ones who fought for our freedoms. Nothing. This is what's making my blood boil, folks. If I were the president, I would throw every one of them out of here. Yep, they would be out. They would get deported. They would get back where they came from. They can't. They can take their stupid drugs too. I mean, filling bananas up with drugs is really one thing to smuggle all over here. But this is ridiculous. And that is the trouble with this government too. The illegals are, Obama let them in here, and they're getting away with it. I say deport them, give them money back to the veterans who rightfully deserve it. Please understand, I have nothing against illegals. If they abide by the laws and the laws of this country and not live off our welfare system and take money which is rightfully belong to the veterans. Coming up, I'll talk about Rachel Dolezal. She wants to be black. She feels that if transsexuals can change sex, then why can't she be black? In a recent interview on NBC's Today Show, she said politically there are both ways, black and white, and she chose that side. We'll talk about that coming up. So all that, along with a whole lot of other good stuff. Right now, though, it is time, folks, for weather in the news. Got some interesting weather in the news too. There was a car that actually got hit by lightning, and you would think to yourself, how could that be possible? Because when I was a young kid, I remember my mother telling me that if you get into a car during a lightning storm, the tires are supposed to be grounding. Now it was rubber, and I was always told that when I was growing up. But this car got hit by lightning, folks. And I'm gonna save the video for our video version of this program when we get on YouTube. You're not gonna believe what you see. It just blows my mind. Just hit that car completely. And let's see, there's like a lot of tornadoes. Rockwall had a tornado. Then they had a tornado in Alexandria, Virginia. And you guys and we'll talk about all this throughout the afternoon, because this is the GJRB Online. This is the Gary Russen program, and this is GJRB's original news talk program, GJRB Online on Spreaker. And I'm Gary J. Russen here. I hope you're enjoying the program. Let's take a look at the weather on the 5s right now. Coming up, well, let's see. What do we got? Okay, wait a minute. Okay, we got a couple of minutes to do weather on the 5s yet. Let's see. I want to do this. But anyway, I was looking at it and I'm going, wow, tornadoes. that, I mean, there's been real bad ones, and you guys over in Louisiana, the South, are going to get more. The National Weather Service has said that there's a chance of severe thunderstorms today for the southeast states, including damaging winds, large hail, and a few tornadoes. And this threat is will go on through the midweek. It's just like not over yet. For the Mid-Atlantic on Thursday, they're just going to get more of this stuff. The threat of damaging winds, tornadoes will continue to the northeast and Gulf Coast into parts of the Carolinas through the evening. Isolated strong storms remain possible over the middle Mississippi and lower Ohio valleys as well this afternoon. So you're going to get quite a bit of nasty. I'm looking at the radar right now, and I see a chunk of red, like a big circle of red, and it's circulated just around the Carolinas and Georgia area there. And just on the tip of Florida. Florida is getting missed by a slim margin. They are getting missed by a slim margin. I mean, I'm surprised Florida's not getting anything. Really is. But this is what you're getting, folks. And that's our weather on the fives. And we'll keep you up to date on what's going on with your weather throughout the afternoon here on GJRB Online on Spreaker. I'm Gary J. Russen. Hope you're enjoying the program. Stay with me. I got more coming up next. And we'll hope we can talk to you about some neat stuff going on here on GJRB, here on Spreaker. In this world of chaos and upheaval, this is the program that puts it all into perspective. How will we survive? God only knows. So trust him and listen to the last 7 days. Uploaded as a podcast or live every third Friday at 12 o'clock noon Central on GJRB. We all run a busy schedule, and maybe we don't have time to catch the Gary Russen program. Well, here's the solution. The best of the Gary Russen program, highlighting the most memorable parts of recent shows. Each podcast I will play clips of previous shows and talk about them. Watch for podcast uploads during the GJRB's podcast weekend on GJRB's public site on Spreaker. Reflecting on the past memories of past shows. The best of the Gary Russen program on GJRB.
That sound more like everyone else than anyone else. Hey, all right, it's Kip Casper.
Spreaker is the website which turns anyone into a radio DJ. Log on to Spreaker.com for listening to thousands of radio channels and start creating your own radio today.
The mainstream media is not telling you the truth. They have their own agenda. At GJRB, I have mine, telling you what's really going on with sources like End Time Headlines, InfoWars, Coast to Coast AM, and most importantly, CBN News, keeping you on top of what's happening at the top and bottom of each hour during the Gary Russen program. I'll give you the news and analysis of what I think with Gary J's News and Comment. Get the real news. True news. News that's not in the mainstream. On GJRB. And we'll be right back with more of the Gary Russen program. Coming up on the other side of the half hour, we'll be taking, I hope I can take some phone calls. We're going to talk to you about all this stuff and a whole lot more late-breaking news. We'll have to scroll through social media and pick some late-breaking news stories out. And, of course, give you the news whenever you need it here on GJRB. So stay with me. The Gary Russen program is coming up here on GJRB Online on Spreaker. Glad you could be with me this afternoon for the best in talk on GJRB here at Spreaker. Glad you could be with me today. Coming up, more Gary Russen program. Here's a news update. From the GJRB News Desk, I'm Gary J. Russen. Here's some of the stories we're covering for you this afternoon. Multiple sources. Okay, I need to stop this. Okay, stop it. And I'm going to give you the stories. I'm sorry about that. Do some adjustment there. Multiple sources tell Fox News that Susan Rice, former national security advisor under the President Trump, requested to unmask names of Donald Trump's transition officers caught in surveillance. And also, we'll have news on other stuff this afternoon. I'm Gary J. Russen, GJRB True News on the Hour. News headlines coming up. More news on the Gary Russen program, Freestyle Monday edition special here on GJRB.
Even bowling. It's covered on Gary J's Sports page. I'll talk about what's going on in the world of sports all over the USA. We'll read you interesting articles about the players and even keep up with the scores of the games going on live. I'll even have guests from time to time and just talk sports. Better than any newspaper page, it comes alive. Gary J's Sports page, alternating Saturdays at 2 o'clock Central on GJRB Online.
Imagine one day tuning around on your internet radio only to find a station playing old radio programs complete with commercials and thinking, what am I tuning into? The past? You might be, or it's just GJRB Online and Radioland. A day of nothing but classic radio shows back to back with classic commercials in between. Like the days of radio. Almost like your computer is picking up signals through time. Closer than you'll ever get to time travel. Radioland.
If you're a new emerging artist and want your songs out there, the place to go is Reverb Nation. Reverb Nation, a website totally devoted to new music from new artists from every town and every state in the U.S. If you're a solo artist and recording your own music, it's Reverb Nation. Stop on by, visit, listen to the music. Check out the site, www.reverbnation.com. Put your music out there and gain an audience. Go to Reverb Nation for the best in new music. And remember, if you like your songs played on GJRB Online's Up and Coming, drop me an email at GaryJ65@yahoo.com. And I'll be playing your song on all GJRB Online shows. Remember the name, Reverb Nation.
Watch. Pray. For you not know what hour the Son of God will return. Prophecy, New World Order, terrorism, economic collapse, wars, pandemics, Israel. When they say peace, then cometh sudden destruction. Volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, signs in the heavens. Keep up with world news and events you hear on GJRB's News on the Hour. Go to End Time Headlines at www.endtimeheadlines.org. With a lot of chaos happening, keep in touch with End Time Headlines and GJRB. Watch. Pray. For we not know what hour the Son of God will return. Prophecy, New World Order, terrorism, economic collapse, wars, pest, Israel. When they say peace, then cometh sudden destruction. Earthquakes, volcanic eruptions. End Time Headlines at www.endtimeheadlines.org.
That sound more like everyone else than anyone else.
Hey, all right, it's Kip Casper.
Spreaker is the website which turns anyone into a radio DJ. Log on to Spreaker.com for listening to thousands of radio channels and start creating your own radio today.
It's that time of year once again, spring. A time when the weather gets warm and the flowers bloom, and GJRB is starting new programs and bringing back older ones that haven't been on for a while. It's the GJRB Spring Spectacular. All new programs and old ones returning, like Radioland, Gary J's radio and television classics under a new name. Radio, television, and movie classics, featuring not just radio and television broadcast rarities, but also intermissions from drive-in movie theaters and indoor theaters too. Old movie trailers and movie trivia. The Spring Spectacular will also mean the return of the blues with Gary J's Blues House and country bluegrass with Bluegrass Jubilee. New additions to the Gary Russen program, including The Man on the Street, as I take my voice recorder to the streets of Clinton and ask people their opinions on what's going on in the news and lighter fun stuff. GJRB Spring Spectacular starts in April on GJRB. The mainstream media is not telling you the truth. They have their own agenda. At GJRB, I have mine, telling you what's really going on with sources like End Time Headlines, InfoWars, Coast to Coast AM, and most importantly, CBN News, keeping you on top of what's happening at the top and bottom of each hour during the Gary Russen program. I'll give you the news and analysis of what I think with Gary J's News and Comment. Get the real news, true news, news that's not in the mainstream on GJRB. And we're back on the air here on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. Glad you could be with me, the Gary Russen program here on GJRB Online. And we're just having fun here on our Freestyle Friday, just working the bugs out of the automation system here on GJRB. So every once in a while you might hear some funny mistakes, but hey, I love them. So it just kind of makes it more fun, you know what I mean? And, Fox kind of pulled the old plug on me locally, and just I don't know. I'm not going to depend on their YouTube. I'm not going to depend on their Facebook feed anymore because they quit feeding when I needed them the most, and now they are live again. So go figure. I just don't understand that. Okay. Well, we're going to try that again next hour, of course. The Gary Russen program here on Spreaker across America and around the world. Hope you're enjoying the program. Yeah, we're a 9-foot signal. If you're living in our neighborhood, you can hear us on 107.9. But here on Spreaker, nationwide, across America, on GJRB Online on Spreaker, because I like to brag about my 9-foot signal. I love it. I love broadcasting so that people who live in this neighborhood who can't afford computers, don't have one, maybe I'll have a chance to hear the show, or just happen to be driving by and they're listening on their car radio, just happen to pass by and catch our feed for a few seconds. Well, there you go. You catch the Gary Russen program, you say, wow, that's a fantabulous show. Where does it come from? And then just kind of go home and look it up on the internet, and you'll find us. That's simple, So, yeah, this is our special Freestyle Monday edition. And the reason for that is that Friday, our church had we have different events. CCF, you hear our services here on GJRB. We have different things like movies, gatherings, and stuff like that. And usually with the movies, I'm the tech guy along with my friend Brian, and we usually have to set up things like the screen or something. And I scheduled a show, and I did a scheduling error, and I should have checked to see if maybe perhaps I had something that day before I went and scheduled the program. But what happened was I had to call off the show because I had this obligation to help out a little bit. So it was a matter of that, to be able to help out. So that pretty much how that goes. And I just like to do that. So I thought, well, if I was going to help out and I can't do the show, I might as well call it off until Monday. So that's what I did. I called it off until today, and for that very purpose is to make it so that I can help out a little bit. So that's what I would do. That, and I do other things outside the station anyhow. Being that I have a lot of other things I do, and so I decided to call off the program and put it on today. And this is our freestyle edition of the Gary Russen program here on GJRB Online on Spreaker. I'm glad you could be with me today, and happy day to you. And hope you're listening to the program across America and around the world, the Gary Russen program here on GJRB. And we're going to make it so that you can be a participant in the program. Yeah, you could be a part of the show. You could get on the air. All you got to do is just give me a call. Yeah, just that simple. Now, whatever I'm doing, I drop it and I make it possible for you to call my show. So just do that. Area code 563-613-4260 is the number to call on the cell line. Or you can call me, or you can just chat with me on the Spreaker public site. Right there on the Spreaker public site. That's simple. All you have to do is drop me in there. When you get into, we have a widget on YouTube. Right, a widget on, well, yeah, we do on YouTube. But it's, a video. I have a widget on Twitter, and I have a widget, and of course on the GJRB TV, on the GJRB Online on Spreaker, where we come from, where we broadcast this, and it will post on YouTube and Facebook. If you follow me on Facebook, basically that is what you'll get. You'll get me on here live, and you can talk to me on the air by getting in and into the chat room and check that widget out. And there's a widget there, and that widget will tell you basically you just get on that. And there's a little umbrella on there, and when you go, it'll go to our chat room, and you can get on the air. You won't be on the air. What you'll do is we'll acknowledge you that you're on the air, with me. I'll say something. I'll say your name, what have you. And you ask me a question, I'll read that question on the air. Okay, and give you a chance to be recognized on the air. So that's how that goes, and it's kind of fun, really. And I get a chance to, talk with you about different things that are going on here, and it's a fun thing. It really is. So I hope you'll join me, the Gary Russen program here on Spreaker Online on GJRB. Hey, got a lot coming up this next half hour, so I hope you'll stay with me in the next hour. We're going to open up Freestyle It, and we're going to play some sound bites for you from Rachel Dolezal, who says that she has a right to change her color, and she feels that it's just like the transsexuals. They have a right to change their color, and maybe she is right. It's her prerogative there. We'll talk about that and a whole lot more, so I hope you'll stay with me. GJRB Online here on Spreaker. I'm Gary J. Russen. Hope you're enjoying the program. We'll be right back with more of the Gary Russen program in just moments here on GJRB. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Don't go away.